Hi, everyone. I think you can hear me. I hope you can hear me well. Excellent. So I guess we will wait 3 to 5 minutes until everyone is there. Okay, great. Okay. I hope it's okay if we record the session for, I think we won't publish it somewhere, but I hope it's okay. If it's not okay, you can write it in the chat, and then of course I can stop the recording. Okay, great. Okay, so first of all, thanks for joining. I really appreciate your time in joining this AMA. At the same time, we're streaming this on YouTube, so it's really everything live. Also, you can send your questions if you have any directly in the Zoom chat. It should be enabled for everyone. So we will address your questions directly from the Zoom chat. At the same time, we have some questions from the audience already that we will also answer. And I will suggest that maybe my colleague Zhongchan and me, we will introduce ourselves, and then we can give a short elaboration on the vision of BFG Superstars and the program, what we aim to do, and then we can jump right into the questions that you have. So let's start with me. I'm Max. I'm currently responsible for this BFG Superstars program, and my goal or my responsibility also includes to take care of every participant in this program, and I will also be responsible and the first contact in case any of the startups need help, and that was also my role in the past year. In 2021, basically, we have been fostering and getting some ideas on the market, and up until now we have been founded 3 to 4 startups already. It only needs one visit at the notary, at the lawyers to sign, and then it will be official. And so we are very proud of that, and that has been our mission for the past year. And that is all. That is me. Maybe Zhongchan, you can say a couple words to yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Max. My name is Chong, and I'm a venture manager at the Blockchain Finance Group. I just joined BFG recently, beginning of this year, and since then I have supported building a startup in the DeFi analytics space, and it's right now in the midst of being legally founded. And it's been hell of a ride, and I can only say that it's been a lot of fun, and the learning curve was steep, and I think it's a great opportunity for everyone to join BFG Superstars and to really build a company within 4 to 6 months. So that's all from my side, and as likewise, if you have any questions about the program, also in the aftermath of this AMA session, you can reach out to me. So now I hand over to Max.
Great. So that was us. We also have some more team members that are advising the project. Besides the core team, we do have over 20 advisors in place, experts in the field, representatives of leading blockchain companies within the European space, that are also advising some of the projects. and that is the team. And if you have any questions afterwards, you can also reach out to us directly. Now, after introducing my colleague Zhang and me, I would move on to just a couple words to the vision of this program and what it actually entails. And for this, I will share my screen. I hope you can see it now. It's really just two slides. Basically, the slogan already says it. We try to team up, prototype, and then kickstart a venture within the program, and that is possible within 3 to 6 months. That would be the goal. Imagine you come to the program with an idea or maybe without an idea. Then BFG Superstars will provide the resources so that you can kickstart any idea or even without an idea, so that it's at the end market ready, and then you can launch it within, again, 3 to 6 months. That is the average for 2021. We have been building, again, 3 to 4 startups. And it took, on average, 3 to 6 months to launch them market ready. So I think this slide is pretty well made. It just shows, the steps of how this application process and how the program really works. Essentially, after the application, we will have 50 superstars who will be joining the program. And then we will onboard them, of course, give them some reading material. And then very soon you will see who we matched you with, because if you did the application already, then you will already have done the team assessment or the persona assessment, where we get to know you as a person. We get some psychometrical metrics about you, how you work, and then we will match you with your complementary persona, so that you find a co-founder. And in the best case, it is one, the CEO, and then the CTO. And then if we match them, that would be the best case. And then with that co-founder, you will move on to the preparation phase. And I think this is pretty important. The preparation phase it entails 8 to 12 weeks, whereas the first 14 days will be sort of a trial session. So you and your co-founder will prepare a small case study, and within or after the 14 days, you will have the very first pitch day in which you present your results. And why is this a trial phase? Well, simply because you will, it's remote work, and we want to see if you can get used to this setup with us, and of course with the remote setup, and of course with your co-founder. And then after 14 days, you will present the first pitch day, and if you're successful there, then you will move on to proceed in the program. And if you're not successful, then maybe there's a chance to further collaborate in some way. But if you're not successful, basically you would leave the program. But if you're successful, then it goes on. And then the ongoing phase would be 8 to 12 weeks, where we will design and present the program outline. You will go through all our tactical workshops, our workshops on best practices, how to build a startup. Also market sounding and idea validation is included in this process. And then after or at the end of this preparation phase, you will have the final pre-seed pitch day. That's how we call it, in which you will present your findings, your work of 3 months to the BFG investment committee. And then there we will decide if the project will receive funding of up to 60,000 euros. And then if you get the 60,000 euros in funding, then you will build your MVP and make it market ready. And again, in 2021, this year, we had 3 to 4 startups that already went through the process, and now they got 60,000 euros, and they are in the process of further developing their prototype. So that is roughly how it works. And And yeah, so here again, the details, those are the main focus areas that we will build the startups on. Basically, it's anything related to crypto, DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, of course, IoT and CO2 compensation, data monetization, and of course, plenty more models. The target groups are entrepreneurs who are already profound with blockchain technology. The duration will be, again, 8 to 12 weeks. And the compensation is paid after the first pitch day or beginning February 17th. Okay, so February 1st is the program start. Then you have 14 days to prepare the first case. If that's successful, then also compensation starts. Right, then the intake size is 50 superstars per batch. We plan 2 batches per year, and the goal is to aim to launch more than 10 blockchain startups per year. Of course, this doesn't have any cap. So if there are like 20 blockchain startups that are great, then of course we will invest in 20 startups. Right, so that is actually it for the very short presentation. So I'm more than happy to answer questions from your side, starting now.
Great, thanks, Max. I think we already got 2 questions submitted to the chat, and one is from Angela. She asked, did the startups build the MVPs with the budget given? Or how much was the average investment to get to the MVP?
Okay, so MVP, as how we define it, is the very first, let's call it naked software, right, or naked product. So because our teams, our 2021 teams have been developing web applications, the average cost I think was around 20 to 30K euros until they got their MVP. And maybe to elaborate a bit more, after building the MVP and paying the salaries and all that, they're currently at the stage where the main focus is now to further develop the MVP, and we expect that the budget will be used up, that the budget of 60,000 will be used up before they can actually start to further develop the MVP, and therefore in these cases they asked or requested for additional funding that is also been approved. So if you're also in the case where you have the MVP and maybe it's very good, but you couldn't get to the point to make sales to further finance the further development, then of course you can also ask for additional funding. Right.
Yeah. If you have follow-up questions, you can just type those into the chat. But let's get to the second question that we have from Prince Lu. He asked, what if we are already at an advanced stage and have already started on the project development? Do we have to go back and follow your process?
That's also a very interesting question. So many people have reached out to me who already have a team, who already have, basically they already have a product. And then the question is, do they still fit in the program? And the simple answer is yes, you can still participate to use the program just to validate what you already have, because we can give feedback, we can give consult to what you already have, right? But if it's too advanced, like say you already have I don't know, funding, you already your product's already on the market and all that, then maybe it may be lots of repetition. However, it's not bad, right? If it's good and you have the time to spare, then of course you can use the program to validate your methods, to also implement new best practices that we already have in place, or let's say most of the times when we have existing startups that come to us and we take a look at their infrastructure, then there's some security leaks that could have been avoided. So in these cases, it could be our best practice to avoid these security breaches.
Hi, Max. So I figured since I'm here, I might as well say exactly where my concerns are. So I prioritize paperwork first. So I've not gotten to the point of actually building MVP yet. So I go through, like a technical scope first. The next stage is developing a white paper. And then after that, I look at other things like along the smart contracts, the security side of things, and the tokenization, the token economics is a big modeling piece of work. So far, I've got a team in Ukraine that is actually working on the development, and another team in Switzerland. Right. So, of course, I'm doing this in the dark. I do not have any experience whatsoever. so I kind of like feel my way as I go. Right. So I'm not saying that I don't need help. I do need help. But the question is, at what point does that help come in without slowing down the project? See, so I obviously require things like technical reviews, even just having, another eye looking at what we're doing. I've not looked at marketing yet. Legal is another big headache. Different jurisdictions have got different laws on cryptocurrencies. And so far, I have to learn everything by myself. And I don't have a legal background whatsoever. So there's a whole lot of things that,
I think that's a very valid question. I also think if you put it this way, then the program might be actually perfect for you because we will, consult and give feedback on what you have and also advise you on, how to proceed. If you say you don't have legal background, then we do have legal background, people with legal background, and we can provide you, with the framework on how to evaluate best for example, which entity or which legislation you should go to found your legal entity, right? That's a big question, and we do have the expertise in DACH region. So the bigger question is, will we slow down your progress? I don't think so, because if you already have the results, then we will simply ask the question. If you have the results already, then you can simply answer the question, right? And so we will not slow down. If anything, we will validate what you already have. Right.
Yeah. Now the other challenge is what I think we've so briefly spoken about this. So I already have pre-existing funding that is being sourced elsewhere, right? And I do have other opportunities that keep knocking on the door. Now, the balance is to make sure that there's no conflicts with what your interests are and what the others' interests are. Right. So in terms of, let's say the project takes off going forward, what level of participation do you require going forward?
You mean participation as in team members, how they should participate?
Yes. So for example, let's say we end up having some governance structure, right? You have given us your 60,000. And from there, you've been given a percentage equity in the project. Fantastic. Now, what's your ongoing participation? Because for me, what is really, really crucial is to have that support factor ongoing, not just to say, oh, okay, we've launched the project, full stop. I think from, if you remember from my emails, I said I'm looking for partners that are emotionally committed. Not to tick boxes. Right.
Yeah.
So we're done. Now you're on your own. Figure it out.
Right. No. I think what's the case is that we will invest, and after the investment, you will be sent to the world to make business or make an impact, And then afterwards, if you still require help, of course, we can give you the necessary resources that you require, and then we can discuss about how the setup will be.
Okay.
Right? If, say you need I don't know, you need 10 hours per week for feedback and like maybe a heads up with some expert. I think 10 hours is quite a lot. So if it's possible, then maybe it's some sort of collaboration with an advisor, and then we have to sort that out contractually so that it's fair, because these people also have other things to do. But we have people, to at least have the capabilities to do so. So I think that hopefully answers the question.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Then for a change, let us switch over to YouTube. There's been one question or two questions posted by Angard. So, and they're kind of related. So one is the 60,000 euros just to build the MVP? And also, if you can add to that, how much compensation can one receive? So Max, you've already touched upon these questions a bit, but maybe some clarifying words would be great.
The first question is 60,000 enough for the MVP? That really depends. Depending on the business model, it can work just for the MVP, right? That's quite a relative question. For example, the one of the projects called Sharp Explorer, where Zhongchan was involved with, they paid around 30,000 for the MVP, right? Or at least the first prototype. And so it really depends on what exactly you're building, but it could work, of course. And the second question regarding compensation. So after February 17th, so after the first successful pitch, you would receive compensation of 2,500 euros per month, and that is pretty straightforward, I think.
Okay, great. Then Alex asked, do you help with team building? And if yes, how?
That's also a good question. So within the very first weeks, or basically also the whole program, we will have very intensive work collaboration with the core team members of BFG Superstars and the separate teams. So any team will have the opportunity to book people like me and John and others from the BFG network to receive some feedback session and some consultation. At the same time, we'll have mandatory, let's call it weekly stand-ups of all teams, so that they can participate and present what they, the cases that they work on and the progress. And that all contributes to team building. Like we will not, let's say, we will not leave, we will not match you and then leave you there, but we will, of course, ask if everything's all right. And then if it's not all right, then of course we can switch up teams and mingle newly, and so that sometime it will fit best. And maybe. To give you some statistics, usually it takes around 2 to 3 rounds of new teams until it's a perfect team. Similarly, 2 to 3 rounds with ideas until it's a perfect idea.
So Max, I just wanted to ask a question as a follow-up to that. So the 2,500 that is given, is that on a month basis?
Yes.
And also, is it withdrawn from the 60,000?
Also correct. Yes, it is withdrawn from the. So if you work and then at the end you get 60,000, then you deduct the compensation that has been paid, because it all is already funding.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes, but if you get the 60,000 in funding or additional funding even, then you will of course have the usual CEO salary because if you're legally founded, you don't get the compensation anymore, but a formal salary. I also wanted to stress that.
Okay, maybe those details will become clear as time goes on. It's not clear right now. Yeah, but I just wanted, perhaps I could share something that I've just recently experienced. So I've gone globally to developers, to legal advisors, legal firms in blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And so using like a proper tendering system, right? Well, it's not perfect because it's being run by one man, but what I discovered was that I could get the project started on, so I'm doing 2 applications. One application, just starting the work, could cost me about almost $50,000 just for the documentation, just paperwork. We have not started building anything, right? And it's interesting that I have some codes of about 60,000 to develop the minimum viable product for one application. Right? We have not talked legal yet. We have not talked marketing yet. Legal costs are coming in the range of about 25 to 30,000. Depending whether it's Singapore or you're looking at Europe as a jurisdiction. So the prices differ, but they are within that range.
I totally.
We haven't talked marketing yet. We haven't talked about marketing yet.
True. Maybe to answer this question very simply, I think again, our expertise and our resources lie within the DACH region, right? And we do have experts in the law field who are leading firms, blockchain law firms in Germany and Europe. And so we already have some knowledge about, how to found a legal entity, what constructs there are. And, if you don't have that, then of course you need to ask a lawyer, and then they will charge 20 to 40K for the consultation. But the setup itself usually is doable, right?
Okay. So do you have a preferred zone or jurisdiction that, because right now I'm in Australia, and quite frankly, I don't like the laws around crypto and blockchain right now. The government just sits on the fence. They don't make their position clear, right? Whereas when I look at Singapore, everything is clear for everyone, So do you have any particular jurisdictions that you prefer?
Yes, so of course our preference will be the European space because our expertise is there, but we also see potential in Dubai, Singapore, and Hong Kong, because those are also very favorable crypto areas, so we can consider that too.
Definitely, I've seen someone put in Liechtenstein. I've looked at Liechtenstein as well. It's got some very favorable laws. Please don't go to Switzerland, by the way. They won't make a decision. The law is there, but they don't make a decision. They just sit on your file.
We'll consider that. Thank you. Let me actually move on to one more question, because the time is almost up. However, let me also say that if you have some more time, you can also stay here, because I do have some more time. So someone asked, how much time do we bring to the program? Do you think it can be successful in the part-time setup? That's also a very valid question. I think usually we recommend around 25 hours per week in order, to at least successfully participate in the program. Anything below that, in my opinion, is critical. We have tried it in the past, and usually, I don't know, if you have a full-time job, then it will be hard, to manage both because it's just hard. So we usually say 25 hours per week is usually recommended. But if you're a very high performer, then maybe you can also do it with 15 hours or something. But I think the bare minimum is 15 hours. That should be clear. Also to participate with the group stand-ups and group interaction. I think that's also very important. And If you have a co-founder, I don't know if the co-founder works 40 hours and you just work 15 hours, that'd be quite unfair in my opinion, but that's all relative, right? It could work, it could also not work. Yes. Okay,
Great.
John.
I have one more question, maybe the last question, if there are none left. So this has been a question that has been asked a lot, which is location important? So can we work remote, or is this location dependent?
Location is not important. We work fully remotely, and we do have the fitting, let's call it collaborative software so that everyone can work together remotely in an efficient way. However, we again, our advisors, our team, our partners, they all located in Europe. Besides me, actually, I live in South Korea. So, but the expertise is in Europe, and therefore, if someone says, or if I don't know, if we have one candidate that is excellent and he lives in Germany, then and we have someone who lives in I don't know, Singapore who is also excellent, then we might choose the one in Germany because we can help him better. Whereas the one in Singapore is a bit harder. But if he's very, very excellent, then of course he's still, we will still admit him. So we do not discriminate between locations. Right, okay. Then
I guess while we're on that, do you have any partners in Australia?
Not that I can think of. Actually, Australia is yeah, you're probably the first one actually I ever had contact from Australia. Yeah. Okay, but our partners might have some contacts in Australia. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, then if we do not have any more questions, John, I would say, yeah, I can only advise, to check out the official website, BFG Superstars. I can also send the link, or John, if you can send the link into the chat, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, sure.
If you need any more details, you can directly reach out to me. My contacts are also on the website. And with that being said, thanks for joining. And I wish you a great Tuesday evening. Thank you.
It was a great session. Thanks, Max.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.